West King District 4A Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament. On the Boys Championship, it's Glacier Peak and Inglemoor. Let's go down to Steve Willits, who's on the sidelines with the head coach of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies for his comments.
On that night is going to be the one that comes out. It's just hard, every team is good that's playing basketball now, so I think it helps, but those games are in the past, and now you're just playing tonight and see what happens.
Watching Inglemoor on tape, watching them in person and warming up here tonight, what kind of a team are they? What do you expect?
They're the best shooting team we've seen all year. Unbelievable shooting team. They make about 40% of their points are on three. They shoot the ball from three about 40%. Really, really good shooters. And number 10 is the best guard we've seen all year. He's a great guard, all King-Co guy the last 2 years. He's a really, really good player.
Brian, best of luck. We'll talk to you at halftime.
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Steve, with head coach Brian Hunter of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. He's going to make his way over to see if he can get a quick word with Greg Lowell, the head coach of the Inglemoor Vikings. We'll go down to Steve right now.
All right, thanks, Tom. We're down here with Greg Lowell, the head coach for Inglemoor. Greg, 8 losses on your season. You had a 3-game losing streak right before the regular season ended, and somehow you guys have really turned it around, and here we are in the championship game. What's been the biggest difference?
Yeah, the kids have really been focused. We've got a good group of seniors, good leadership, and we've been improving defensively, which has been a big plus for us, but the ball's been going in the basket a little bit more, which always helps.
Helps indeed. Tell us a little bit about this Glacier Peak team. What do you see from them?
Well, obviously they're undefeated. They've got good balance. All 5 kids can score on the floor, and they're just a tough-nosed team. So we'll have to play a great game to beat them.
Final question. A little bit easier coaching this game, knowing you're going to regionals either way, a little less pressure?
Absolutely.
Coach, best of luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve, with head coach Greg Lowell of the Inglemoor Vikings. Tom Lafferty here. Joel Boyer is here as well. Joel, I'm not sure we can match the excitement of the girls' championship game that happened just a couple minutes ago.
Well, that was quite an intense game. So much excitement going into overtime. Number 1 versus number 3 in the state. Woodinville Falcons prevailed over the GP Grizzlies. But you know what? That was a pretty awesome crowd, and this GP crowd has all stayed and only grown.
And let's talk about this game tonight, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. And I've been saying it all year. People have said, well, how come Glacier Peak's undefeated? I go, they're like a machine.
They sure are, and that machine has so much depth to it. That's something we've seen. They are so together as a team. I think the word when I watch them, that you're talking about machine, I would kind of couple that with together. This team clearly likes to be together. They like to play together.
Tell you what Todd Tipke, one of Brian's longtime assistants, said. I said, well, how come, Todd, how come they're so good? He goes, they like each other.
Absolutely, and that's obvious when you watch this. They do like each other. You can tell they enjoy being together. They enjoy playing for each other. I'm convinced watching them play this year, they don't care who scores. They don't care who's the leading scorer. They don't care if they have 0 or 25. As long as they're winning and playing together, they're having a great time.
And then, as Steve said to Greg Lowell, the head coach of Inglemoor, it's a nice time to get hot.
Yeah, it is. It's always good when you can get hot going right into the playoffs. A 3-game losing streak at the end of the season, but, man, they have really turned it on. There's a couple teams that I probably would have said, they were clearly not seeded number 1. Were they the 4 seed? Is that what I believe they might have been in this tournament?
They were the
3 seed.
So they had to play an extra game.
They did. They had to play that extra game to get here, and yet that 1 and 2 seed, very talented Mount Si team, not here. Very talented Woodinville team. They lost actually last night. They're actually out of the whole race now. In the bi-district tournament to get to state. But this team here, Inglemoor, man, it's so exciting. And I'm really excited to watch. I've heard about number 10 for Inglemoor, but Brian Hunter, when he says he's the best guard we've seen all year, well, Brian Hunter's a pretty darn good coach, and they've seen a lot of good players. If this is the best guard you've seen all year, I am so excited for this matchup.
And coming in now, Inglemoor, as we said, had to play in the opening round, which was the single elimination round. They beat Mount Vernon 58-48. Then they turned around and they beat the Mariner Marauders, a very good Western Conference team.
Absolutely. They're a fantastic team, that Mariner squad, and they really handle them and go through. And you can just feel, and as you also heard Brian Hunter said, best shooting team they've seen all year. So you talk about a team getting hot at the right time. If you're making 40% or more as a team from three-point land, Oh boy, that is very, very indicative of them being hot.
And Woodinville then was victim in the semifinals, 67-52. That on Tuesday night at Bothell High School. So here are the Inglemoor Vikings in the final here against the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Glacier Peak came in as the -- 1 team out of the Western Conference. Excuse me, so they didn't have to play the opening round game. They beat Redmond 63-57 in the second round. And then they turned around and edged the in the semifinals. They got Glacier Peak, didn't edge them, they got them by 20, and Glacier Peak over the Skyline Spartans. And then here are the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, 22-0 with a number 2 RPI. Union, the number 1 RPI team.
And you know, anytime you start talking about those top 1, 2, 3, 4 teams in the RPI, that tells you something. One, that thing that tells me, Tom, they played a really good non-conference schedule, and they beat a lot of really good teams. It's not like the old days where you might be undefeated, but you have that question mark. Did you really play anybody outside of your league? What did your non-conference look like? With the RPI now, you know for sure, if you're that high, your non-conference was spectacular.
Well, Glacier Peak played Kings, who's got a very high RPI and going into the championship of the 1A district, and they played Linden Christian, as John Rasmussen calls them, the University of Linden Christian.
Sure, absolutely. Linden Christian, and I know the girls' side a little bit more, but close friends with Roger DeBoer, the head men's coach of Linden Christian. Those are fantastic programs up there.
Our national anthem. The Glacier Peak Band with the national anthem from here at Everett Community College, the Walt Price Student Fitness Center. And let's get a look at the starting lineup for the Inglemoor Vikings. That number 10 they talked about is Zach Shimmick. He's a 6-foot senior, the guard for the Inglemoor Vikings. They'll start Brady Casto, Tim Donahue, Peter Hansen, and Dawson Tucker. For the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, Tucker Molina, Tristan Bates, Pierce Darlington, Braden Corwin, and Braden Quantrill. Glacier Peak with 4 to 5 guys. They've had 6 different players be a leading scorer in a game this season.
You know, when you talk about team, you talk about balance, Glacier Peak has got to be the epitome of it this year. 6 different leading scorers. I think they have, 6 guys all averaging 7 or more points?
Yep.
That is really hard to defend.
Aaron Keller is the referee. He throws the ball in the air, and we're underway at Everett Community College, the West King District Boys Championship game. Inglemoor in the black uniforms. There's the traveling team tonight. And there's that Shimmick guy, and then he puts it up. This is the first one. Got his own rebound flat on his back, but then had the ball taken away. So Inglemoor in the black uniforms, gold numbers, white trim. Glacier Peak is the home team tonight in the white, moving to our left in the silver numbers and letters and some blue trim. And that's Tucker Molina from outside, launches an air ball. He'll hear it from the crowd from Kenmore. Fade away by Corwin, won't go. Back up and in. Tucker Molina gets the rebound and puts it back up and in, and that's one of the keys. They like to get those offensive rebounds.
Absolutely. Great job, Molina. Put up that air ball, but he didn't sit on that line feeling sorry for himself. Cut back door, is able to get that offensive rebound.
And speaking of going in strong, that is Peter Hansen, who ties the ball game at 2 as we're just about 1 minute and 3 seconds into this game. The West King Boys Championship. Both these teams will be going to the regionals. Glacier Peak with a high enough RPI coming in that they will most likely already have punched their ticket to go to the Tacoma Dome. That's Corwin with the miss. knocked out to Molina by Darlington. And a reset on the offense here for Glacier Peak. GP 22-0. Corwin with it. Goes left to Bates. Now they look down to Quantrill. And a foul is going to be called. Talking about Braden Quantrill, he's played post his entire life. He looks like a guard. He likes mixing it up with the big boys down low.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at a lot of these players for GP, they don't really have a true inside presence, but they've got a lot of players who are real strong. Braden Corwin got that ball tipped right there. Tuckamino with another offensive rebound already.
Off the front of the iron, no good, and Shimmick grabs the rebound for the Inglemoor Vikings.
One thing you see about this GP team, they've been in the weight room. Braden Corwin, oh boy, he looks pretty yoked right there. You look at Braden Quantrill, there's very strong players, understand how they need to move inside.
Turnover by Inglemoor. Foul will be called. And they're going to say he was not on the way to the hoop, so it'll be out of bounds at the baseline now with a fresh 35 on the shot clock. We're tied at 2 at Everett Community College. Aaron Keller, Hap Thakema, and Bo Brooks are the officials. We've watched Hap Thakema do games for 20 years down at the state tournament.
Oh, man, it's surprising me when he's not there doing the state tournament. He's doing some state tournament somewhere.
That is Corwin, rattles out, tough luck shot. Rebound controlled by Hansen. Here comes Inglemoor, tied at 2 with Glacier Peak. Dawson Tucker. And then to Shimmick, puts it up, rattles it off, no. Quantrill with the rebound. Outlet Molina. Willie, no. I thought maybe he'd elevate there, but he waits for his teammates to join him underneath.
And that's one thing about this Glacier Peak team. We've seen it all year, Tom. Any one of the players on the floor, if they get a rebound, look for them to go on their own. They're going to look to push that ball up the court. They don't have a necessarily true point guard. Tucker Molina gets that ball to fall right there, but they got a lot of point guards. All of them can handle the ball and are willing to put it on the floor.
Molina with the bucket. It's a 4-2 lead for GP. Inglemoor's yet to lead in the ball game. Top of the key, 3 ball won't go. Missed by Casto. Shimmick with the board. The baseline's closed off, goes to Tucker. He'll shoot the 3 in the corner.
And I'll tell you what, this is the first time I've seen Shimmick play for Inglemoor. My early 4 minutes into the game, 3.5 minutes in the game, oh boy, he's talented.
Yeah.
He is real talented with that ball. He's never in a panic that I've seen yet.
Molina will try to answer with a 3 ball at the top of the key, won't go. Quantrill grabs the board. Shuttles it along the baseline, back to Quantrill again. Then he finds an easy lay-in by Pierce Darlington.
And I wonder if they're going to get Darlington. He looked like he was wanting to pack that ball and get a slam right there. I thought he might have shuffled those feet. No call.
In traffic, lay-in, no. The miss there by Hansen. Rebound controlled by Molina. He brings it out of backcourt. Just a great pass to Quantrill. Just an absolute laser beam pass by Molina.
Fantastic pass. And Molina, watching him play, he really likes to get his shot off. You can tell he enjoys shooting the ball. But you watch passes like that, you see he's not just a shooter, scorer, kind of holding it too much. He loves to make that awesome pass. Just loves his teammates scoring.
Shimmick with it. Looks in the corner, elevating for a 3. Blocked by Molina.
And you see right there, Brian Hunter, it's a fantastic block by Molina, but he is getting on his players. He sees right there Tristan Bates did not have his defensive assignment correct. Great block, but that was a really great help side block to bail out his teammate Bates.
Yeah, that's bailing out your buddy.
Absolutely. Coach still saw it, though, and he didn't bail him out.
Yeah. 10 on the shot clock. Shimmick with it, top of the key. Casto. I think he's a pretty good guard, too. Back to Shimmick, 3 to shoot. Shimmick elevates, puts it up, rattles out, no. And Quantrill grabs the rebound for Glacier Peak. They lead at 8-5. Here's Molina. Nice shuttle pass underneath. 2 great assists by Molina on 2 successive trips down the court. Darlington with another bucket.
Absolutely, and you see that right there. They're getting some stops, and they're definitely forcing tough shots by Inglemoor.
Casto, no. Molina, another rebound. He may have a triple-double here in this first half. Couple of assists, couple of 2, 3, 4 rebounds, and some points.
And a turnover on that one.
And a turnover.
Called them for a little too much of a carry right there. but he's trying to make things happen. Look, got a couple of subs coming in for Inglemoor right now. Don't know him as well, Tom, but I want to see how deep this bench goes. It's always something you want to see. When you get to this point, you usually get a little shorter on that bench. You say your starters have got to go a little bit more minutes. We'll see how they're able to handle that.
Inglemoor with the ball. Shimmick with it. Looks left. That new player that's in there, Aiden Bennett. Back over for a turnaround. Boy, they're just...
But I will say they're getting a lot of good looks right now, Tom. You think those are going to start to fall at some point, and who knows what kind of a run they could go on.
Quantrill will swing it over. That's Core to Darlington. To Molina, elevates, fires, 3, no. And the rebound controlled there by Zach Hedge.
Good rebound by Hedge, really crashing those boards hard to secure that ball.
Shimmick in the corner, Tucker. Back to Bennett again, back to Shimmick. Trying to look inside on this defense. They're just working the perimeter.
Yep, and then GP, his last 2 possessions has gone to either looks like a 1-2-2 or a 3-2 zone with Tucker Molina, really long-armed, 6'5", lean player at the top of that, really shutting off a lot of passing lanes.
Elevating for a 3 on the other end, rattles off, no good. Bates with a miss. Battling for the rebound, the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Inglemoor. It'll be Glacier Peak basketball. Talking last night on the popular Prep Sports Weekly show on KRKO Radio with Zach Ward, head coach of the Stanwood Spartans. I said, what does your bench do? What does your rotation do when you get in the postseason?
Yeah.
He goes, it shrinks.
Absolutely.
He says, I like to go 7, 8, 9 during the regular season. It's more like 6, 7, 8 in the postseason.
Absolutely. And we've talked a lot of times, when you get to the state tournament Tacoma and you're playing 3, maybe 4 days in a row, you're going to have a moment where maybe that number 9 or maybe even number 10 player is going to have to play some minutes and produce for you. But this is just a by-district championship. Now, I don't mean just. It's big and important to these 2 teams, but they're both going on to the state tournament. They're both moving on at least the regional round for sure. Their benches are going to stay small tonight is my guess.
Dribbling in Shimmick to the right side, a pull-up jumper on the way. It's another air ball, no good, Zach Hedge. And Corwin grabs the rebound. Inside a minute to play in the opening quarter. Low scoring, 10-5 lead. 5-point lead for Glacier Peak. Quantrill with it. Goes around a double screen. Corwin elevated, faked out his guy, then put up another 3, wouldn't go. Darlington with the board, too hard off the window. Another rebound, no. Siebers is there, another rebound, no. But he'll have to earn him at the stripe.
Oh, boy.
Alex Kloss his pencil's going to wear out from writing down rebounds.
Offensive rebound. I think there's a block, at least one I saw right there by Zach Hedge, senior number 32 for Inglemoor. They're just trying to get a block, can't get the rebound. Get another deflection, can't get that board. Siebers right now shooting 2 shots.
Second personal foul on Hansen. 3rd team foul. Siebers at the free throw line. 0 fouls on Glacier Peak. First one was good. Second one is good. Hits them both. It's 12-5, a 7-point lead for GP. Threatening to, okay, it's too soon to say run away with it, but they're up.
No. 7-point lead, though. It's not exactly the way Coach Greg Lowell drew this up for a first quarter. But they really want to see if you can get this shot here, you can get a bucket to drop for you. Yeah, you're down 5 or maybe 4, but it's just that momentum, stealing it back in the last 8 seconds. 2.
1, no. 5 points scored by Inglemoor in the first quarter.
Gonna need a few more than that in the second.
You will, and we will have the second quarter coming up here. You're watching the 2020 West King District 4A Boys and Girls Basketball Tournament on STSPN.com.
You can almost smell those fresh ground beans. Airfield Espresso at Harvey Field has been serving delicious cups of gourmet happiness for over 25 years. Excellent service and lasting relationships is their top priority. Stop in and experience the kindness and joy that exude from this special place, one cup at a time.
Okay, welcome back. I don't know. Strange quarter.
Strange
For
quarter.
Inglemoor, they just couldn't get anything to go down.
And, this is the team that we just heard Brian Hunter of Glacier Peak say the best shooting team they've faced all year. I'm going to believe Coach Hunter and say that was probably a great defense by Glacier Peak, but expect Inglemoor maybe to pick up that shooting percentage this quarter.
Yeah, they're due.
Weather the storm if you're GP. Continue to play hard defense. Work great possessions. That's one thing you're seeing right now, especially. They're working the ball around. They're working the shot clock, making Inglemoor work hard on defense. It's hard to play great defense all game long.
Hard to the floor goes Caleb Lee, and he'll go to the free throw line as they worked it around. Inglemoor. Castro picks up the foul, his first personal foul, fourth team foul. Inglemoor 2 of 3 from beyond the arc, 2 of 13 from beyond the arc. 2 of 13 field goals. 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. GP was 5 of 17 from the field, but 0 for 6 from outside the arc.
Ouch.
Yeah.
It's not that 40% we were expecting to see.
Missed both free throws.
Don't expect that to happen again.
No.
Caleb Lee is pretty not happy with himself. You look to see him play even harder on this defensive possession.
Inglemoor in the black uniforms, gold numbers, white trim. Moving to our right, the visitors tonight down by 7. Their first possession of the second quarter. Tucker looked at the shot, didn't take it, gave it off instead to a teammate that didn't go.
GP in that 1-2-2 zone, really making it difficult to find open passes inside as well as tough penetration.
Castro with that last miss. Quantrill with it now for Glacier Peak.
Shimmick really shadowing Contrail closely, looking to see if he can't get a tip on that ball.
That's Tucker Molina. On top again, Lee. Back to Molina again. Little stutter step move. He'll just fade away. That one won't go. Kept alive by Lee, but grabbed by Inglemoor. Here come the Vikings. Shimmick has it. 1 on 5, and he takes it in himself, and he gets fouled. That's guts.
And that right there, that's a guy who's played a lot of points, a lot of games, I'm guessing on the AAU circuit, but he went in there with a pretty strong, he's a pretty slight player, you can tell, but he gave a nice forearm right there trying to get himself open. Call went against GP, but Shimmick is not afraid to mix it up inside.
Turnaround air ball, no good by Castro. Lee picked up that foul, the first team on Glacier Peak. Quantrill at the low block. Turns and faces, then he gets it denied, so it goes to Darlington, to Molina. Yeah, shoot it. Come on. I thought he was going to. Tucker Molina goes in without the ball and loses it out of bounds. He probably, in hindsight, should have just shot it.
Well, he's thinking, how come that ball didn't go out of my hands and get up to the rim like that?
We're going to have a timeout on the floor called by Inglemoor. We step aside with 6 minutes and 13 seconds to go in the first half. Glacier Peak 12, Inglemoor 5. More coming up right here on STSPN.com.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
McDaniel's Do-It Center is located in beautiful Snohomish, Washington. Locally owned and operated for over 40 years. They are proud to provide the Snohomish Valley with exceptional hardware, tools, lawn and garden, and sporting goods products. Their commitment to delivering legendary customer service and their outstanding employees continue to make McDaniel's the best and one of the most recognized do-it-best centers in the nation. Stop by and experience for yourself the difference between McDaniel's and the big box stores. Discover why so many people are choosing to shop at McDaniel's.
6 minutes and 13 seconds to go here. First half of action. Glacier Peak, neither team has scored here in the quarter as we're coming up on 2 minutes deep. Castro and Shimmick, boy, they're just playing way outside. Shimmick will try to penetrate the defense here. He's met by 2 guys. Doesn't know what to do with it, kicks it back out.
Yep,
and that's a
call.
travel. Glacier Peak's just playing great defense.
They're playing very stifling defense, making it very difficult to get into that lane. And when Shimmick was able to penetrate in there, pivot, up fake, had to kick it out. There was just no opportunity to get that shot up for him.
Here's Braden Quantrill bringing it out of backcourt. Looking for somebody to get open. That's Tucker Molina. He says, let's reset the offense. He starts the dribble. 17 to shoot. To Darlington. Quantrill. He'll look for a little avenue in, and then they're going to say jump ball.
Oh, good hands by Shimmick right there. Yep. Was able to get him in there. Man, normally Quantrill's probably going to get a foul call in his favor, being so strong, but Shimmick just had one hand on top, one hand on bottom, held on for dear life.
Good job there by Aaron Keller, the referee. Said, you know what, it wasn't a foul.
Great piece of officiating. I was worried he was actually going to call a reach on that, and I really enjoy that jump ball call, or that held ball for the other folk.
Hansen, Tucker. Some of us remember when jump balls were jump balls, by the way. Dribbling in. Shimmick likes to put up the forearm to give himself some space.
Absolutely.
That's Hansen. Tucker, 7 to shoot. Shimmick with it. Shimmick dribbles in. Nope. Oh, offensive foul is going to be called.
Man, Siebers did a phenomenal job moving his feet and getting himself set inside there. Shimmick's really trying so hard. But I'll tell you what, Tucker Molina has a massive length advantage on him.
So that's going to be his first personal foul, 5th team foul. Just one foul called on Glacier Peak so far.
And you know what, Tom? We haven't had a point scored this quarter yet.
We have not. And now we're 2.5 minutes into it. Backdoor lob for Molina. He's closed off there. Good defense by Inglemoor. So they kick it back out to Quantrill, who just banks it in. And that opens up the biggest lead of the game for either team, Glacier Peak, by 9. Inglemoor briefly had a 1-point lead early on. Now the Vikings will move it around from the Kingco League. This is the boys' championship of the West King. Shimmick along the baseline gets it off to Tucker, who puts it up and in.
And right there, I was trying to watch the defense right there, and I couldn't really tell. And I'm not sure if Tucker Molina also could tell. Are we in zone or man? And it seemed like they were kind of half and half. It doesn't work well when you're not all on the same page.
With Braden Quantrill directing traffic, top of the key. To Molina. Looks down low. Kicks it out to Siebers. Puts up the 3. 2 guys on the floor. No call. Tucker went out to block it and then blocked him to the ground. No call. Air ball and controlled here by Inglemoor. Let him play.
Absolutely. It's a bi-district championship game.
Here's a fadeaway jumper. Won't go. Miss there by Hansen. Outlet for Molina. Brings it up. Dribbles in off the paint. No good. Off the window, no good. And he gets fouled on the way in, and Tucker Molina will go to the free throw line.
And that was one of those situations. You had Braden Quantrill really trying to hustle up the backside to be a 2-on-1, if you will. He just wasn't in position close enough. I thought Molina made a great decision right there saying, I'm looking for it, you're not there, I'm going all the way, get the foul call.
Castro with his second personal foul. 6th team foul. First free throw's no good. Next one it's an 8-point lead. Zach Shimmick for Inglemoor with it to Castro. Now to Hansen. Hansen starts to dribble, goes to the baseline, blocked.
What a block by Darlington from behind right there. Great defense.
It retains possession for Inglemoor at the baseline. Brady Castro will throw it in. To Shimmick, elevates, no. They're going to say over the back, I think, on Castro. He's going to pick up his 3rd personal foul.
Oh, boy. Coach Greg Lowell going to his bench.
Castro doesn't even, he just walks straight to the bench.
Yep.
Yeah,
oh, boy.
3rd personal.
That's not your recipe for success right now, putting one of your starters on your bench with 3 personals in the second quarter. But hey, you got here. Next man up. That bench might be short, but there's still a bench.
Yeah, they brought 12 guys on the bus from Kenmore.
You got 12 available to you.
First one good. by Quantrill. Second one good. And that's the biggest lead of the game, up by 10 points. Glacier Peak leading Inglemoor. Inside 3 minutes now to play.
Glacier Peak back into their, looks like a 1-2-2 zone, but they really flattened that back line out to 3. Siebers came from all the way across the top wing to intercept that pass on the block. Fantastic rotation by the Grizzlies.
Greg Lowell, the head coach, you can see him there with his chin on his palm. I think he's flummoxed.
I'll tell you, Bobby Siebers, he does not play like a sophomore necessarily plays. He plays pretty strong and physical.
The lead is a dozen. Count the basket and one coming up.
Oh, boy.
Shimmick, he took the bull by the horns, if you will, and said, okay, boys, I got to do it then.
And you wonder if this is one of those moments with 2:22 left in this half, who's going to step up for Inglemoor? And I'm going to say, I wonder if Shimmick's going to say, hey, give me the ball. Let me see if I can't get us there. Good job officiating. Fakema and Keller right there getting together saying, yes, that ball did go through. It's going to be one free throw right now. See if he can't complete the and one.
This is Zach Shimmick at the line. Darlington with a foul. His first. Free throw's good. Second team foul. And the 19-10 lead. Talked to many officials over the years, and how can the official not know that the ball went in, somebody will say. And if you're looking at where the ball is, you got other things. There's an axe murder going on underneath the hoop. You got to be not looking at that.
You got to be looking at the players in your zone, not exactly where the ball is, especially once the shot's in the air. That ball's in the air. Look at the players.
Nicely done there by Caleb Lee.
Little hesitation in that corner, and all of a sudden the Red Sea parted and it opened up for him.
Shimmick will try to answer. He does not. Ball's out of bounds. Who's got it? Actually, that time Darlington kind of turned around, looked at the official, and the ball was still in bounds.
And I think he barely got that off the heel.
Barely.
Of Dawson Tucker. I wasn't sure at first, but just the way the ball bounced, you could tell it struck something. The only thing in the region was Tucker.
Coming up on a minute and a half to play in the half. Inglemoor did break into double figures. It wasn't looking good there for a while. Caleb Lee with it for Glacier Peak. Ooh, changes direction, puts it up, won't go. Back up by Darlington, no. And a foul is going to be called off the rebound. And Pierce Darlington will go to the free throw line. Nice move.
Ooh. Oh, man.
Ooh.
Caleb Lee had the defense on a string right there. Going at you, pulling you back, going at you again. A little change of pace, change of direction.
First free throw good. Free throw was on Zach, or the foul was on Zach Hedge. His first 8th team foul. It won't go, and Hedge grabs the rebound for Inglemoor. 22-10. Glacier Peak hasn't exactly lit it up offensively, but they don't have to. They lead by 12 with 22 points. Corner, thought he was going to go up. He doesn't. Goes a little bit closer. Hansen will miss. They volley the ball around. Back inside. No, Hedge will miss. And the rebound comes down back into Hansen's hands. He dribbles through and lays it up. No, it won't go. Holy smokes. They can't get anything to go down. Molina, no-look pass. Lee along the baseline. Boy, I thought he traveled out to Siebers. Siebers spin, back over, turns, no. And 1, 2, 3 bodies were on the floor, so we'll play on. Shimmick with it. Is this like we're playing outside? Up the floor. Molina, can he catch up with it? Yes, he does. Swings it back in. Knocked around. Who's got it? It's going to be Lee with a bucket. I feel like we're playing down here at Garfield Park.
Oh, my goodness. Last possession right here. See if Shimmick can't get something to go for himself.
Biggest lead of the game for GP. Foul called with 0.2 seconds to go.
Oh, stepped on the sideline.
Stepped on the line.
But wow, what a first half for GP.
If I had said that it was going to be 24-10, 10 for Inglemoor. Wow.
Looks like we got Steve Willis trying to catch up with Brian Hunter. I don't think he's going to catch him, though. Brian Hunter, as great as a coach he is, he doesn't love his halftime interviews very much.
I
don't blame him. I don't blame him one bit.
So I think we're at halftime here, and we will take a break. 24-10 the score. Glacier Peak leading Inglemoor. Halftime of the boys championship in the West King District Tournament. Back with more at halftime on STSPN.com.
We are all frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Because we are Snohomish County's premier Lennox dealer, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. The Lennox Home Comfort System creates the ideal home environment. Enjoy innovation in every season with precise, quietly efficient Lennox heat pumps that keep your life simply perfect. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electric today or visit us at gsheating.com.
Here in the crowd from Kenmore. Fade away by Corwin, won't go. Back up and in.
Their own. They're going to look to push that ball up the court. They don't have a necessarily true point guard. Tucker
the board. The baseline's closed off. Goes to Tucker. He'll shoot the three in the corner. Puts it along the baseline. Back to Quantrill again. Then he finds an easy lay-in by Pierce Hansen. Rebound controlled by Molina. He brings it out of backcourt. Just a great pass.
Oh, boy.
Shimmick with it. Looks in the corner, elevating for a three. Blocked by Molina. Glacier Peak, they lead at 8-5. Here's Molina. Nice shuttle pass underneath. Closed off there. Good defense by Inglemoor. So they kick it back out to Quantrill, who just banks it in. Postgame. Shimmick along the baseline. Gets it off to Tucker, who puts it up and in.
And right there, pretty strong and physical.
The lead is a dozen. Count the basket and one coming up.
Ball is especially once the shot's in the air. That ball's in the air. Look at the players.
That he does. Swings it back in. Knocked around. Who's got it? It's going to be Lee with a bucket. Here in the crowd from Kenmore. Fade away by Corwin, won't go. Back up and in.
Their own. They're going to look to push that ball up the court. They don't have a necessarily true point guard.
Frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
It's the weekend, baby!
Since 2003, Gamut 360 Holdings has been recognized as a premier local builder of new homes and commercial properties in the Puget Sound area. Our 360-degree construction approach matches first-class materials with the highest construction standards to create truly unique and timeless communities for our Northwest neighborhoods. Visit Gamut360.com and discover the home that matters most to you.
You can almost smell those fresh ground beans. Airfield Espresso at Harvey Field has been serving delicious cups of gourmet happiness for over 25 years. Excellent service and lasting relationships is their top priority. Stop in and experience the kindness and joy that exude from this special place, one cup at a time.
Every year, thousands of groups depend on Adrenaline Fundraising to help reach their financial goals. Adrenaline Fundraising is about developing leaders through commitment, work ethic, and follow-through. Adrenaline has several products including gold cards, coupon books, cookie dough, donation programs, and many other options to help teams raise the funds needed for their programs. Adrenaline's new app called UpPay will help teams raise money while providing their supporters the ability to earn cash back on everyday purchases at places like Starbucks, Nike, Red Robin, and over 200 plus national retailers. Adrenaline Fundraising is this season's sponsor of the STSPN's Play of the Game Award.
And welcome back to Everett Community College, the Walt Price Student Fitness Center. Here at the half, our score 24-10, Glacier Peak leading Inglemoor. Let's go to Buddy Patrick now with a look at the stats from the first half.
And we will start with the Inglemoor Vikings from the field as a team, shooting 4 for 23 for 17%, 1 for 5 from three-point range, and 1 for 1 from the line. Only one free throw shot for the Vikings in that first half. Individually leading this team, 5 points for Dawson Tucker, 3 points for Zach Shimmick, 2 points for Peter Hansen, just 4 turnovers for the Vikings. For the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, shooting as a team, 9 for 25 from the field, 36%, 0 for 7 from three-point range, 5 for 8 from the free throw line for 63%. Darlington, 9 defensive rebounds in the first half, 10 total. As a team, leading the scoring, Braden Quantrell with 6 points, 5 points for Pierce Darlington, 5 points for Tucker Molina, 4 apiece for Caleb Lee and Bobby Siebers, only 3 turnovers for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Tom?
Thank you very much. That's Buddy Patrick. Joel Boyer's here. Steve Willits is here. Alex Clausius is here. Todd Elvig and Sarah Elvig keeping us on the air here on STSPN.com. Thanks for being with us here on this Friday night at ECC. And 24-10 the score. Glacier Peak leading Inglemoor in the boys 4A district championship game. Earlier tonight, the Glacier Peak girls took it on the chin, and they lost to the final score of the Woodinville Falcons. It was 62-57 Woodinville over Glacier Peak in overtime in the girls championship. So Glacier Peak trying to avenge a loss, and so far, Joel Boyer, they're looking like they're having their way with Inglemoor.
They sure are, and if Inglemoor wants to crawl back in this game, they have got to shoot better than 4 of 23 and a half. 4 field goals. Yeah. It doesn't matter what kind of great defense you play, and they did pretty good against a tough Glacier Peak team, holding to 24 and a half. It's not enough.
Here's Tucker Molina with a 3 to open the second half that will not go, and the rebound controlled by Inglemoor.
And cleaning up those rebounds for Inglemoor is the first step in a long journey right now, down 14, but first step to getting back into this game.
As now Inglemoor, they're in the black uniforms, gold numbers, white trim, to Zach Shimmick, top of the key, goes low, won't go. You know, you just know during the regular Kinko season, those are dropping.
And that was one of the first looks. You saw GP go back to a man-to-man right there. And, man, Inglemoor ran a lot of screens for a lot of guys and got Shimmick a wide-open, great look at the top of the key. Just rimmed it. But I'm going to think Brian Hunter is going to go back and say, let's go back to that 1-2-2 zone that was so effective in the second quarter.
Glacier Peak with the ball in the white uniforms. Silver numbers down to 10 to shoot. That's Quantrill. Braden Quantrill stripped and a foul called. Zach Shimmick will be called for the foul.
You know, I almost thought he had clean hands on that one again, too. But the first one he didn't get called. Earlier we had that jump ball with him and Quantrill in the lane. Well, that one they called him.
So Braden Quantrill will be at the free throw line. Shimmick picks up the foul, his second, first team foul.
I'll tell you, Tom, I sure thought that was on the floor. I wasn't seeing as much of a shot attempt going up right there. I'm pretty surprised to see him awarding free throws. But
so we're thinking that it wasn't a foul and it was on the floor if it was.
Oh, boy, Aaron Keller's not going to appreciate my analysis of that play.
25-10 as one free throw goes down. Biggest lead of the game for Glacier Peak, up by 15 points. That's Dawson Tucker in the corner.
Not to be confused with Tucker Molina, who's guarding him.
Right. Down to the floor, and then losing the handle on it. Who's got it? Pushing foul is going to be called. And we've got an injured player here for Inglemoor, as he kind of went down awkwardly.
Yep. Pierce Darlington ran right into him, kind of hip checked him. Looked like he might have gone hip to the floor first. But great job, great sportsmanship. Darlington saying, man, I didn't mean for that to happen. They're both patting each other on the butt right there. You love seeing even that referee saying, hey, you all right? And helping him up too, putting a hand out. You really appreciate it when they understand these guys are playing hard. We respect that as well.
Pierce Darlington with a foul, his second. That Shimmick with a drive won't go. Then the rebound taken down by Donahue and knocked out of bounds.
I tell you, Pierce Darlington with the first block on Shimmick, and he said, hey, anybody else? And Tucker Molina says, I'll join your party. Got a second block from behind. Still Inglemoor ball, but two nice block shots inside to prevent that.
Casto casts off and puts it in from three-point range.
And Casto inbounding that ball with a little flip. I could have told you, we call it America's play, going out to the corner, screening in for him curling around top. GP just couldn't get there in time to prevent that. That was a real sweet stroke going down. Let's see if they can't fuel that fire and get a mini run here.
That's Tucker Molina with it. Now Braden Quantrill, 18 to shoot. Molina again. Surveys the situation from the top of the key. Darlington. Corwin open for three. Rattles and goes. A three ball.
Braden Corwin's had a few that haven't gone for him. That one he faded away a little bit, maybe a higher degree of difficulty, and so that's fine. I'll still put it down.
Now we'll play defense on the other end against Shimmick, and he rattles one off, won't go. Darlington says, give me the ball. And here Tucker take it out of backcourt, and he does. Tucker Molina with it. The lead is 15 points, equaling GP's biggest lead of the ball game. Braden Quantrill. Back to Molina again. And the thing about GP, the rest of the guys aren't just standing around. They're setting screens and getting open and giving it to Braden Corwin to bury another three ball.
Oh, man. Corwin was pretty cold that first half. 0 for 6 in the first half from the field. I think it was 3 or 4 threes that he missed off on. But here, back-to-back threes for him. Oh, boy, the last thing Inglemoor needs is someone who was cold in the first half to start heating up in the second half.
The lead is 31-13. We call that a mirror score. Here's a drive, travel. You know, Greg Lowell's upstanding. I just don't know that there's an answer for Glacier Peak. We talked about him being a machine before we even started tonight.
You start looking defensively, do we go leave our man-to-man and go to a zone? Well, Glacier Peak's got a lot of shooters, and when you go to a zone, you tend to open up gaps outside. Oh, man, this really is a conundrum for them right now, being down like they are. Oh. You know you're feeling it when. And your Braden Corwin decide to come off that screen, double clutch, pop that. The energy and excitement he's bringing with him to the bench. Timeout, Inglemoor.
And the best was the reaction by Brady Casto, who just says, yeah, some nights that's just going to happen to you.
That's what's going to happen.
We'll take a break. 4:11 to go here after a timeout called by Inglemoor. Big lead for Glacier Peak, 34-13 in the third. Back after this.
Since 2003, Gamut 360 Holdings has been recognized as a premier local builder of new homes and commercial properties in the Puget Sound area. Our 360-degree construction approach matches first-class materials with the highest construction standards to create truly unique and timeless communities for our Northwest neighborhoods. Visit Gamut360.com and discover the home that matters most to you.
And yeah, we don't have a screen, but we'll keep going. 4:11 to go here in the third quarter. 34-13 the score. Oh, look at that. A replay. It's up and it's there, so we're back back to action here. Joel, quit kicking the cord.
That's my bad. My bad, Todd. My bad.
We're kept alive by baling wire and duct tape. You kidding me?
But hey, we got pretty nice digs up here at the Walt Price Fitness Center.
We like the third floor on the mezzanine level, the press deck. That's Casto tried to answer on the other end what Corwin did, and airmails it out of bounds.
And you saw GP go back to that 1-2-2 zone and really frustrate Inglemoor's ability to work inside, to find an open shot outside. Casto put it up, a little bit more of a hope and a prayer than it was a great shot.
On the other end, that three won't go for Tristan Bates. Inglemoor will bring it out of backcourt with Shimmick. Now Tucker, good. A couple of three balls for Dawson Tucker. That one goes down. Stems the tide a little bit, gives him 16 points on the ball game. Inglemoor.
And this might be the night where every possession needs to be a three-point attempt for Inglemoor.
Darlington goes in as the ball knocked away. Here comes Inglemoor. Hansen will bring it down, dumps it over, and then Casto can't handle it. Ball goes out of bounds, and last touch by Inglemoor.
You know, when things aren't going well,
they're just not going well.
You know, I feel like we've done these games once or twice together.
Well, just everything doesn't work.
Yeah.
You get the feeling that the battery was dead in somebody's car this morning. You know, it just started there.
The bus was 15 minutes late.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Traffic, you know, that accident there on 405 coming up from Bothell.
They put mustard on your sandwich. I mean, come on, you know.
Yeah.
It just isn't working tonight.
Bobby Siebers keeps it alive, but then throws it right back to Inglemoor. I think that was one turnover each. We're just going to spread them out there on that little play. Tucker will try to do it again. He won't this time. Molina almost had it, couldn't get it, and then a foul's called on Darlington, who ran into the guy who did get the rebound. And it'll be out of bounds baseline now for Inglemoor.
And that was one of those times right there. Tucker Molina went up for the rebound and didn't come down with it. And it was more of the surprise to me because just everything seems to be going against Inglemoor. Great job by them keeping that ball alive. Look for them to see what they can do along the way.
Darlington just picked up his third personal foul. We've got a timeout called, a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here. We'll give you one score that we had come in a little bit earlier from over at Jackson High School in the 3A district. Marysville Getchell stays alive, and they beat Edmonds Woodway tonight, 70-55. So Marysville Getchell will play tomorrow against the winner of tonight's game, second game at Jackson between Meadowdale and Stanwood for that last chance berth going into the regional tournament.
And those are those fun games to watch, to call, because these games are fantastic. These are fun championship games. You get the top two teams, at least the hottest two teams right here playing. But those games tomorrow, somebody's going and somebody's not, and there is a lot on that line. Those seniors who don't want to play their last game really look to show up and see if they can't will their team to a win.
Yeah, loser out ball games, and we'll have them right here at STSPN.com and on KRKO Radio tomorrow at 2:30 and 4:15. A little runner by Shimmick won't go. Quantrill with the board. Siebers goes around the defender, and then it's blocked. Back up. Darlington's there. Gets it back. Dragged to the floor to Molina. Boy, they are letting them play, aren't they?
Yep.
Quantrill goes out. Siebers says, how about this? Try that on for size.
Yeah. Who's the kid on the GP team that can't shoot a three?
No, there isn't one.
I don't know if there is one.
Foul called. And Aiden Bennett is going to be at the free throw line. Greg Lowell's, I think he's jawing at the official, or is he at his players? I think it's at the official, but you don't yell at the players, you yell at the officials, but the players get the message.
Yeah, and sometimes it is that way. And sometimes it is that way that there's the frustration, the anger, it boils over, and you need to find somebody to really go, as Darlington just picked up his fourth foul there.
Free throw rattles out, both of them. It's a 21-point lead for Glacier Peak. Minute and a half to go, coming up on a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter at the Walt Price Student Fitness Center on the campus of Everett Community College. Second of 2 games. 6 games here tomorrow in the 3A and 4A district tournament. Lots of basketball. They work it around. Tucker Molina looks to Siebers. He'll start the dribble, turns, back out. Pretty good defense here, and they're going to expire the shot clock. I think they're having so much fun passing it around, they didn't have to take a shot.
You know, in that situation, too, you have the luxury of a 21-point lead.
Well, yeah.
The shot clock violation. While as a coach you don't like those mental mishaps, you're fine.
Yeah. Braden Corwin will go to the bench. Caleb Lee back in. Zach Shimmick brings it up to Bennett. Now Logan Russell, first time we've seen him. Coach Lowell looking for somebody to light a spark, light a flame. Shimmick can't do it there. Rebound down to the seat of his pants there was Zach Hedge. And it's taken away by GP. Here comes Glacier Peak with a chance for their biggest lead of the game, and they get it.
What a great push by Tucker. Great pass by Molina.
Willis with the bucket, and it's 39-16, a 23-point lead for Glacier Peak. 25. We're just about dead even on shot clock, game clock. With Russell. Shimmick now down to 14. He'll lean in. Blocking foul will be called. And they're going to say on the floor this time, no shot. The foul's on Lee. His second personal foul, 4th team. And it's lined out of bounds here for the Inglemoor Vikings from the Kinco League.
2-3 look on the inbounds.
Ball knocked out of bounds. Inglemoor keeps it. They'll do it from the side this time.
GP's going to stay in that 2-3 zone, even if it was because it's a low sideline.
Down to 10. Down to 5. Down to 4. That's Russell, puts it, kind of flings it up there, and it won't go. And our score at the end of 3 quarters of action. The Glacier Peak Grizzlies 39, the Inglemoor Vikings 16. 4th and final quarter coming up next right here on STSPN.com.
All frustrated with the high cost of heating and cooling our homes. At GNS, we are completely changing the way you keep your home comfortable. Our Mitsubishi electric cooling and heating system allows you to control the temperature in each room separately, all of which can be controlled from your smartphone or tablet. And because we are the mini split experts here in Washington, we can design a perfect system for you, one that will save you a lot of money on your utility bill. Call GNS Heating, Cooling, and Electrical today or visit us at gsheating.com.
We're at the Larry Walker Court at the Walt Price Student Fitness Center, Everett Community College, the West King 4A Boys District Championship game, and it's been all Glacier Peak. 39-16 the lead. Inglemoor Vikings with the basketball. Knocked away. They're still playing hard. Knocked away there by Willis, and then the bucket is up and in by Caleb Lee. What's more I think it's shocking they've only scored 16 points.
Agreed. Absolutely. I mean, this Inglemoor team, 8 losses. That means that they are still in the top 20, I believe, in the RPI.
Yeah.
And they are a good team that knocked off people who are fantastic in this bi-district tournament to be here. But you just feel that they ran into a buzzsaw tonight with Glacier Peak with that ball going down for Casto. That three-pointer, Glacier Peak through 3+ quarters is still giving up 19 points, Tom. Wow.
Inglemoor, the 16th RPI team in the state, They opened with a 10-point win over Mount Vernon in the opening round. They came in as Kinko number 3, beat Wesco number 6, Mount Vernon, and then went undefeated the rest of the way. Ball's out of bounds. Last touch by Inglemoor. Caleb Lee will throw it in. Inglemoor then beat a very good Mariner team, 64-58 in the second round. In the semifinals, beat Woodinville 67-52. Those two teams like each other a lot. All those North Shore teams just hate each other's guts. And North Creek has just kind of stuck a knife in everybody as well. Oh, here's a steal. Grabbed by Shimmick. He's still pretty good. I thought he traveled, and he banks it in.
Create a little bit of space with that forearm we talked about, but I think he does a pretty good job of not extending it, hiding that well, creating space, allowing himself to get that shot off.
The lead is 20. Quantrill loses it, the defender. Loses Shimmick. Blows by him.
Oh, man. Shimmick's pretty shifty, but he was right there leaning forward on his toes when Quantrill pulled the string out and took it by him.
Dawson Tucker, that's at least 3 threes. He's got 11 points in the ball game. The only player in the game with double figures. And we're going to have a foul called here. Dawson Tucker picks up the foul. After hitting the 3, he picks up the foul. That's his first personal foul, second team foul on Inglemoor with 5:39 to play in the game. Now they're to within 19. It was 25. Both these teams will go into the regionals next week. But Inglemoor will have a tougher road because they're a much higher seed, so they'll have to play in a loser-out ball game where Glacier Peak will play in a chance with they've got a cushion.
They sure do.
You can lose that first round, then all you have to do is play on Wednesday down at the Tacoma Dome. Oh, they're going to call the offensive foul. Hap Thackeman was going to, then he looked over at Bo Brooks, and then he pulled it back, and then he says, the heck with it, I'm doing it anyway, and gave the offensive foul.
And Brooks gave him that point saying, you call it, I see what you're going to do, and I had the same thing too. Braden Corwin does it all, including wiping up the wet spots.
That's right. Casto with a foul, his 4th. Team foul 3. And with 5:18 to go and a 19-point lead, here comes Glacier Peak. Tucker Molina. To Siebers. Now Corwin again. Tristan Bates, and they just work the perimeter. Everybody touches it. Molina just elevates, fires, and swish goes a 3. That might be about that.
That's pretty pure right there.
Shimmick, that open for a 3 on the other end. That won't go. Missed by Hansen. And then Molina was going to go in for the slam, I think, and Castro says not so much.
Not so much. And, you know, we're not calling anything with 4:42, but the way this game has gone, sure, it's a 22-point game, but it sure feels like a lot more than 22.
Right. Corwin will miss. Molina comes away with the rebound.
You got to start thinking ahead a little bit, too. Both these teams that we've talked about already are still alive, are going on. The loss just simply means more of a seeding thing with the RPI and the bragging rights of the Bi-King District Trophy. Siebers, right. Great bucket right inside there from the pass from Corwin. But really, it's kind of a mental thing right now for Inglemoor. After this game, when you go into that locker room, I think Greg Lowell needs to really implore his players to flush it. Just flush it. You ran to a buzzsaw. GP's a great team. This wasn't our night tonight, but we need to be focused on what we can do in the next game in that regional round, because you would love to get that opportunity to play in the Dome, because in that regional round, you got to win it, assuming that Inglemoor is probably going to be in that 9 through 16 RPI spot.
Right.
You got to win your regional game to have the opportunity to play on Wednesday at the Dome. You lose it, you don't get to play in the Dome. So it's kind of that mental thing of don't get this down, don't let this get you down, be able to come back from this mentally.
Tucker will try to answer Molina's great pass on the other end.
Oh, man. Molina's made some Tucker Molina's made some passes that have been really impressive to me tonight.
So we're at 3:29 to play in the game. And the lead is 50-26. Nearly doubling them up. In fact, they'll have a chance to right here, and it's Glacier Peak basketball. The strange thing now about the scheduling is you're playing here on a Friday night. They're not going to play either one of these teams for a week and a day.
Yep.
Eight days until next Saturday.
Yep. And that's that feeling of it gives you time to know who you're going to play. And that's the great thing about playing tonight is we were actually just referencing Coach Brian Hill for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies on the girls' side. He's heading down south tomorrow because he'll have an opportunity to watch 4 games due to the fact that there was a big SPSL, the Southern Puget Sound League down there. They're going to have 4 games where all 8 teams are going to be at state or could potentially they're going to regional games.
Right.
He's like, of course I'm going down there to watch that. And I remember that trip a number of times. We got our favorite eating spots down there as coaches to be like, we got to leave it this time. We got to watch these games. I film the first. You know it's the second.
We know the burger place on the way into Puyallup High School.
Well, maybe that or Sushi Niwa down by the Tacoma if you got to go south.
Underneath, that's Quantrill with a miss. Yeah, these coaches aren't done tonight.
No.
Tomorrow, they're big time into this Saturday. That's why the 4A guys up here like this.
They love playing on Friday. Oh, man.
Oh.
Now, granted, the teams that play Saturday, they got to come watch your game. They're probably traveling up here. But sometimes it's a long drive on a Friday with traffic, all those kinds of things come north to simply watch 2 teams that are going on to regionals.
Right.
Sometimes those coaches don't always do their homework to come down here and get that chance to scout. But tomorrow to be able to go down to Saturday and watch 8 teams, well, you can't pass up that.
No. Here's Shimmick now coming away with the basketball, lays it up, no good. He'll have to earn him at the stripe. He goes hard to the deck. 2:04 to play in the game. Steve Willits will go down to the floor and get some post-game comments as they'll cut down the nets here. Glacier Peak, really, it hasn't really been in doubt. It was 12-5 at the end of the first quarter, and then Glacier Peak won the second quarter 12-5, so it was 24-10 at the half. 15-6 in the third quarter. And leading it here 50-29 with the first free throw good. And the next one not good. And Siebers grabs the rebound. We're at 2 minutes to play in the game. And you'd think, well, actually, he's played fairly deep here. Molina, like we said, though, they're not playing tomorrow. They're playing next Saturday. Now to Molina, back to the basket. Backs down, back out. Shot on the way, won't go. That's a miss by Bates. Bates misses it. And Shimmick brings it up, and a timeout called by Inglemoor. We'll take our final break with 1 minute and 33 seconds to go. And we'll get a replay up on the screen here, Joel.
You love when we get replays here.
It's our director's Todd's favorite shot.
Caleb Lee, that spin
Let's see that again.
Washing machine spin cycle. Making up names on the spot.
There's up and under.
Took off from outside the key right there.
But
pretty
you know
athletic,
what?
pretty impressive.
And Molina was right there to clean up if he missed it.
And you think about that. Tucker Molina taking off, running the floor with his teammate, ready to clean up that miss when they're up 21 with 1:33 to play. But that's the kind of style. They love to play the game, and you can just tell they love to play together. Going back to what you said, Todd Tipke, not just Brian Hunter's lead assistant necessarily, but one of his close friends from high school, coaching with him, saying they love being together. They like each other.
In fact, Todd and Brian Hunter have been friends since elementary school.
Oh, sorry to shortchange him by about 10 years there. Telling him high school. And you see Inglemoor here has emptied their bench. Greg Lowell says, hey, time to play another day.
Hunter has put in everybody except Molina. But I think that's it. You got to play one starter, has to stay out there. Because I think they're running with, they've got 4 on the bench. I think they got one more. I guess they'll replace one more.
Looks like Torrey Watkins going to be checking in next for either Molina or Quantrell, one of the two.
Quantrell's got a motor. He doesn't need to be plugged in to the Tesla charging station, does he?
No, not so much.
He's self-charging. Ball went out of bounds, and it'll be Inglemoor basketball. And going down hard there was Gavin Hudkin. Molina sits, Quantrill sits.
Bringing back Caleb Lee there, nicely done.
They've punched their ticket, and actually with their RPI all season long, Glacier Peak could have afforded to lose a game.
Sure.
And still punch their ticket to the Tacoma Dome.
And I'm not sure what's happening with Union tonight or tomorrow. I'm not certain that Glacier Peak can overtake Union, but it doesn't matter. They're still going to host a regional game. They're still going to be able to play, to be in the bye on Wednesday, to be all the way into Thursday and double elimination part of the Dome. It doesn't matter if you're 1 or 2 at this point besides some bragging rights. And frankly speaking, you're undefeated. You already have bragging rights for him.
Battleground plays Union Saturday night at Prairie High School.
Oh, well, you're including my 3 favorite places, Battleground, Prairie, and Union, all in one fell swoop.
Battleground has a Gonzaga commit, and as athletic director of Prairie, Jason Castro says, and Union has dudes stacked on dudes.
Well, they're going to need it because unfortunately they lost.
Right.
They lost
One of
their starting point guard to an ACL tear. That is such an awful thing for Coach Blake Conley of the Union Titans. But a close friend of mine, a guy I've known since coaching NBC camps years ago, Blake Conley is a great coach, and he's going to be able to overcome that, and he's going to have his guys ready to go. With dudes upon dudes, stacked on dudes, you're going to find someone next man up.
And the reason we're kind of familiar with Union, besides our friend, Rory Rosenbach, Snohomish High graduate and the first football coach at Glacier Peak. Of course, is the football coach there and athletic director at Union High School.
Should we tie in one more?
Yeah, let's do it.
Hey, the head football coach of the state champion in 2018, the 2018 Washington State football champions.
Yeah.
Over the Lake Stevens Vikings.
Stevens Vikings.
Let's bring another Wesco team into this conversation.
Free throw here, no, with 1.1 to go. 50-29 will be the final. And it'll be the district championship for the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. They defeat the Inglemoor Vikings, final of 50-29. Steve Willis will be down on the floor getting some comments as they cut down the nets.
And Todd, I should have checked you first, but in such an incredible team effort, my vote for player of the game would be Braden Corwin. Yep. I just felt that he was being 0 for 6 in that first half, and his team still was up by a healthy margin, 24-10 at halftime. But Braden Corwin's ability to come back in that second half, hit big shots, 3 after 3 after 3, just really impressed by him and his consummate defense that he plays. Our friend Alex Colassius calls him the Aaron Kraft of the Wesco League.
Wow.
Aaron Kraft, a former Ohio State Buckeye who, man, I loved watching that kid play defense. Just really impressive. Braden Corwin, our player of the game tonight.
So again, a final of 50-29. They'll cut down the nets here at the Walt Price Student Fitness Center. And get some photo op taken here, Glacier Peak. Remaining undefeated. GP at 23-0. Inglemoor not done, 17-9. And they will head to the regionals. They'll have to win next weekend no matter what. Glacier Peak has got a little easier route because they have a cushion. They can lose next week and still they'll be heading to the Tacoma Dome. As they're all gathered on the floor. There's nothing better than getting a pair of sharp scissors and a step ladder, right, after a basketball game.
And you know what?
That's why, obviously, the outcome was what it was. But they really are good shooters. And our guys really bought into a game plan we had. And, you know, every night is a tough night. They're going to shoot great next game. I know they will. They're well coached, good team. But our kids really bought into how to play defense tonight. We've done it all year. But I'm really proud of them for buying into what we did.
It's been 3 years since you've been able to celebrate a district championship. And that wasn't even a bye district. This never gets old, does it?
No. They're awesome. You know, we've got a bunch of older players here that started our program. They were our first graduating class, our second graduating class, and they won back-to-back district titles. And to have them here and see these guys do this tonight, it's awesome. I mean, it's what our program's about, is just the how great at guys we've had with great teammates. But to win it in front of our older guys, that's pretty cool.
I know coaches like to talk about game by game, and it's just a matter of getting to hoist the trophy, but is it a little more different and a little more special when it's undefeated? That's when legacies are made. That's when people sit around 20 or 30 years and make comparisons. A little bit different knowing that you're undefeated?
You know, it's really, it is very truthful, but we haven't talked about being undefeated. We wanted to win the league because we wanted to be a #1 seed in the tournament, and then we wanted to win this, and then we wanted to host a regional game. So we've accomplished 3 of our goals. Being undefeated was not a goal. But, I mean, it's cool. These guys are going to remember this when they're older, how unbelievable they were through 23 games. But, you know, every team we play is going to be really, really good. So we know that coming forward.
Final question. What does tomorrow look like for you, being that it's a Saturday? Do you get to relax, or are you going to try to start scouting? I know that tricky RPI, you don't know exactly who you're going to play yet. Are you going to be out looking at games, or do you get to kind of enjoy this one and start getting ready for next week?
Well, we've watched a lot of teams already. We'll watch a game tomorrow. We'll be somewhere down in the Tacoma area watching a game. But you got it. It's fun. Every coach wants to watch these games and have them mean something. That's why you work so hard. So we'll be in a gym somewhere.
Brian, enjoy every moment of this. Congratulations. We'll see you next week.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
There we go. Thank you very much, Steve, with Brian Hunter, head coach of the Glacier Peak Grizzlies. Now he's going to make his way over to Braden Corwin, who we're going to give our player of the game to. And they're making the way over. And let's go down to Steve.
All right, and we are with Braden Corwin right now, our Adrenaline Fundraising player of the game. I know you've won player of the game before, but not in a bi-district championship game. How are you feeling right now?
This is really amazing how we came out and played defense. It feels really good to get that win by as much as we did. Our defense is really what won the game for us. It feels great.
Defense is what got you that lead at the half. You came out and hit a few big threes in the second half. Talk about your game tonight. You got to think that felt pretty good.
Yeah, first half wasn't going well for me. Wasn't hitting any threes. Went 0 for 4. Came out feeling good in the second half. Was firing. Somehow went in 3 for 3. Felt good the rest of the game, and everything just happened for us.
Talk a little bit about your season in general. Obviously undefeated, but it wasn't always easy. Couple of come-from-behind victories over Mariner last week. We weren't sure you were going to get past Redmond. You were down by 7 at the half. As you start to kind of look back through it and reflect on what you've gone through this season, how special is it to be able to cut down a net and play here tonight?
It's really special. Our tough games, it's all been mental. Our game's just been in our head all the time. So all those comebacks are because we get in the mental state and we work hard and play hard like we should. We start off because we're not thinking the way we should be. So, yeah.
So Coach just told me he's going to be scouting tomorrow. Do you get to enjoy this a little bit, or what's on your agenda for the rest of the weekend?
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this. I'm not going to watch games tomorrow.
Hey, Braden, again, I'm going to have you hold up the shirt really quick. You are the Adrenaline Fundraising player of the game. You got that shirt there on the camera. Braden Corwin, congratulations not only on what you did tonight, those big threes, playing great defense, getting undefeated through the season, and taking that net away, but best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you very much, Steve. Well, let's go to, Buddy Patrick with the final look at the stats. Buddy.
We will start with the Inglemoor Vikings, 11 for 40 as a team from the field for 28%, 6 for 16 from three-point range for 38%, 1 for 6 from the free throw line, 17%. as a team. Leading scorer, Dawson Tucker with 11 points, 6 points for Brady Casto, 5 points for Zach Shimmick, Aiden Bennett with 3 and 4 points for Peter Hansen. 9 turnovers for the Vikings. For the victorious Glacier Peak Grizzlies as a team, shooting 19 for 47, 40%, 5 for 19 from three-point range for 26%, 6 for 10 from the free throw line.
We're going to go back down to Steve on the floor.
Tonight, double-digit rebounds. I think we had you down unofficially for like 12. Big game for you. Inglemoor not necessarily hitting those shots, but you weren't giving them second chances either.
Well, yeah, I mean, they weren't really boxing me out in the first half. I had to take advantage, to be honest.
Take advantage, indeed. What is the moment like for you right now? Glacier Peak, for all their success, they haven't won a district championship in 3 years. To finally get a chance to go up there and go on that ladder, which you really almost don't even need with your height, and to cut down one of those strings, what's this feel like right now?
I mean, it feels awesome. Gonna enjoy it tonight, and then it's on the state.
How long are you gonna get to enjoy this? Are you gonna give yourself the weekend?
Yeah, I'll take the weekend off, and then Monday we're back to practice.
What does it mean doing it with this particular group of guys?
You know, we're so close. It's just a wonderful group. It's fun. Basketball's fun.
Basketball's fun. This is a lot of fun when you're winning. Go enjoy it. Best of luck to you next week.
Thank you.
All right, thanks very much, Steve. Let's go back to Buddy with the rest of the stats.
As a team for Glacier Peak, they leading scorer Braden Cord with 11 points, 9 points for Quintrell, 9 points for Bobby Sieber, 6 points for Caleb Lee, Tucker Molina with 8 points, 2 points for Tyson Willis, and Pierce Darlington, 5 points. Darlington, we had him for 11 rebounds, 10 rebounds for Quantrell.
Thank you very much. And again, the final score, the Glacier Peak Grizzlies, they take one of the 2 championships tonight. The girls lose in the first game to the Woodinville Falcons, and the Inglemoor Vikings fall to the Glacier Peak Grizzlies in the boys championship. Final score of 50-29. For Joel Boyer, Steve Willits, Alex Clausius, Buddy Patrick, Todd Elvig, and Sarah Elvig, I'm Tom Lafferty. Good night from the Walt Price Student Fitness Center at Everett Community College.